Pandayaan taw hahari ko'y madalinan ho COVID-19. Hari ko'y kuon ag ubay-ubay takadakulan. Magpadiyok ko'y ta mga otaw ayuaon kumapasok sa lawa din, amin din buha daw sipon. Pandayaan hanang kadapa sa kadiyon taw kandan. Haisan sa pagpanghunaw ho alima taw, doon ho tagtuga hawaig, pagkapunga hamasabunan. Kabaloy daan na ugsakan sa alima taw ho alcohol o alcohol-based sanitizer. Dapanan taw sa baba ko agpis nga daw agbuha koy. Maayad ko amin taw tissue o panyo ko agsunga koy. Pandayaan hari ibit-ibitan sa mata, idong daw baba taw. Hari awaon sa face mask o cloth cover, ayuwaon ko mapasok sa lawa taw, amin taw buha daw sipon, daw ko tagpananol kuy huutaw, ha amin din agkaguram iling tayana. Haini ha panunultul puon ta Bukidnon State University, daw city government humalay-balay, pinaagi ho City Health Office humalay-balay, Provincial Disaster Emergency Operations for COVID-19 hu Bukidnon, daw alan ha mga estasyon ha sakop po kapisanan ng mga broadcaster ng Pilipinas, Bukidnon Chapter. Kagi ho World Health Organization sa Coronavirus Disease 2019 o COVID-19 sa buwa agpakadalin hadalo. Doon tatag-agian ho gahinawa daw kagpataw. Aman sa agkadalinan taini haotaw, taagkaganaw, agpaso sa lawa, agbuhaon, masakit sa ulo daw lawa, daw tag-indusa. Kadakulan ho dadalinan taini ha COVID-19 ta nakaguram ho pneumonia. Aman ag uwiton gayud ta ospital ta daw maaha hu mga doktor. Kamulo pa haini sa COVID-19 tagpandalin iman takadakulan na nasud ta kalibutan aman pingaranan on haini ha pandemic disease. Ino ba sa natun-an noy taini ha COVID-19? Ino ba sa pagsabot ho pamilya noy taini? Maayad kumasabot taw haini. Daw hari madalinan taini hadalo sa pamilya taw. Naun taw sa mga bata daw magulang ho untul ha pagtanol hulawa. Ipadiyo ta siran doon ho mga utaw hatagdalo. Sa mga sakop po pamilya ha amin din special health care needs iling ho buha o asthma, diabetes, daw cancer, magpadiyo gayud ta mga utaw hatag amol-amol. Ta daw hari maisab-isaban sa kuna maayad ha kagaram, takangko matungkayan madalinan. Haini ha panunultol puon ta Bukidnon State University, daw lokal ha gobyerno ho syudad ta Malaybalay, pinaagi ho City Health Office ho Malaybalay, Provincial Disaster Emergency Operations for COVID-19 ho Bukidnon, daw alan ha mga istasyon ha sakop po kapisanan ng mga broadcaster ng Pilipinas, Bukidnon Chapter.
Unsa ang new normal o bag-ong normal, batasana sa pagsunod niini.
Sa bag-ong normal, di kinahanglan ang pagbansay sa kaugalingon hangtod maanad. Sa sinugdanan mabaguhan ka o gikinahanglan nga pagsag-ulo sa mga angayan buhaton apan sa katapusan maanad ra. Mauna kini ang bag-o nga kinabuhi nato. Ang new normal o bag-ong normal usa ka mga aksyon o naandan nga nakasentro sa gipahugot nga paghatag bilis sa kahimsog. Sulod sa bag-ong normal, prioridad ang pagpataas sa resistensya aron masiguro nga kaya ang pagbatok sa bisan unsang sakit. Sa bag-ong normal, gikinahanglan nga magpadayon og walay kapagngan ang pagmatuto sa pagsunod sa preventive measures o mga angayan buhaton aron malikay sa sakit. Mga pamaagi sama-sa paghugas og mga kamot, pagsuot og face mask kada gawas sa puloy-anan, ug ang pagdistansya sa mga tao kung adunay panagtipok. Padayon nga gaibag-o sa COVID-19 atong kinabuhi. Pananglitan kung sa una dili nato gakaandan ang paghugas sa mga kamot sulod sa 20 ka segundo, karon gikinahanglan nga sundot. Ang mga bag-ong kustombre nga resulta sa COVID-19 kini gitawag nga new normal o bag-ong normal. Sulod sa bag-ong normal, gikinahanglan ang bag-ong panglantaw. Dili na haom sa panahon karon ang kinabuhi nga atong unang naandan. Kanunay natong itatak sa atong una-huna nga niusab na ang panahon karon.
Kini nga sugyot mahibalo gikan sa Bukidnon State University ug lokal nga pangagamahanan sa syudad sa Malaybalay, pinaagi sa City Health Office Malaybalay, Provincial Disaster Emergency Operation for COVID-19 ug mga estasyon nga miyembro sa kapisanan ng mga broadcaster ng Pilipinas, KBP, Bukidnon Chapter.
This is 104.5
DXBU 104.5.
Bukidnon State University, through the Office of the Vice President for Research, Extension, and International Affairs, and the local government of Malaybalay, through City Mayor Honorable Florencio T. Flores Jr. and 2nd District Congressman Honorable Attorney Jonathan Keith T. Flores, bring you Pag-ambitay daw agkaulian, Share to Heal, a social innovation contra COVID-19. This program is an information, education, and communication campaign to address the 9 dimensions of the new normal on health and wellness, governance and management, culture, education, mental health, media literacy, spirituality, legal, and economics and food security. Join us every Wednesday at 9 to 11 in the morning for a variety of learnings together with our credible speakers. Only here on DXBU 104.5 FM. You can also watch the simultaneous Facebook Live through Pag-ambitay daw agkaulian, Share to Heal, and DXBU 104.5 FM page. Pag-ambitay daw agkaulian, Share to Heal, a social innovation contra COVID-19.
Pag-ambitay daw agkaulian, Share to Heal, Bukidnon State University Social Innovation kontra COVID-19. Kini nga programa nagasiguro sa paghatag o pagsabot sa publiko mahitungod sa mga sumbanan, hagit ug oportunidad kinha sa gitawag nga new normal o bag-ong normal. Kini usa ka pamaagi aron maandam sa pagsamot ang publiko diha sa pagwagtang ug pagkunhod sa mga hulga sa COVID-19. Mga labas nga impormasyon gikan sa masaligang tigpamakba sa hisgutanang nabigitang mga pribado o publikong sektor nakip ang ordinaryong lungsuran. Paminaw sa pag-ambitay daw agkaulian, Share to Heal, lang sa DXBU 104.5 FM matag Miyerkules alas 9 hangtod sa alas 11 sa buntag.
Please welcome our host, Ms. Joanna Ruth Sario Paloma and Mr. Chasur Leovan Untolan. Pag-ambitay daw agkaulian, Share to Heal.
Yes, good morning sa tanan nagminaw sa DXBU 104.5 FM. Check your Philippine Standard Time. It is now 9:02 in the morning. And this is episode 10 of Pag-ambitay daw agkaulian, Share to Heal program of Bukidnon State University. Ako si Chasur Leo Vanantolan from the College of Arts and Sciences.
Wow, grabe to nga intro. Higala mga sulod, kamusta? Maayad haal daw kanoy alan. Welcome sa atong panag-uban, sa atong tulumanon, ang Pag-ambitay daw agkaulian, Share to Heal. This is a university-wide extension project, a social innovation of Bukidnon State University. Adlaw Miyerkules karon, petsa 7 sa bulan sa Oktubre 2020. Sakto ba to, partner?
Yes, partner.
Among ikalipay, no, kung inyo kaming ubanan sulod sa usa ka takna niining atong tulumanon, Pag-ambitay daw agkaulian. Ako si Joanna Ruth Sario Paloma sa College of Arts and Sciences, Language and Letters Department. Today's episode is in celebration of the World Mental Health Day. So again, partner Chas, this is our episode 10. This is
Yes,
about
partner.
mental health and coping in the new normal. So karon atong pangmustahon, unsa na siya?
Pagamustahon?
Pangamustahon
Pangumustahon.
ang mental health sa sulod sa pila ka bulan nga adunay pandemya. So atong paningkamutan nga sa sulod sa 2 ka oras, atong mahisgutan ang mga importante nga aspeto diha sa natad sa mental health.
Yes, partner. Yes, partner. And before ta mag-proceed na, partner, no? Last week, partner, daghantag na nga hisgutan, partner. Regarding sa status sa education, hilabi na sa ato ang mga IP, partner, no? And last week, partner, nahimo na to nga guest si Sir Ronel Habonero, Public School District Supervisor and School Principal, and also instructional leader during the pandemic principal no kay siya nagatubang sa tanan problema. So, yang gihisgutan ang case sa Luyungan High School, no? Ang Luyungan High School was established in 2016 by virtue of perfected agreement by DepEd and Assisi Foundation. And siya ang nag-take over atong Summer Institute of Linguistic and gi-convert niya siya sa into high school. It caters the 7 tribes of Bukidnon and isa siya na one of its kind in Southeast Asia with 222 students from 187 students last summer or last year. And the school did not use IP curriculum partner. Mo na siyang nakakuan partner no ngano ka ha. And daghan kaayo siya og mga initiatives no to help our IT or IP students, no? Aside from managing the academic endeavors, he provided sustenance, food sufficiency program to support the needs of the students in the future. For example, planted abaca, adlay, dragon fruit, and crafted new vision and mission for Luyungan High School. Partner, ang ilahang tagline partner is transforming lives, preserving culture. From that alone, partner, makaingon yun the partner nga, they have the initiative to preserve culture through education, partner. No? And of course, sa iyahang message last week, partner, nga grabe ka detailed, no? Nga halos wala na gyud tay mapangutana sa ilaha. Ilahang giaghat ang mga stakeholders nga support, no, to support these people who are trying to preserve culture. No? And then, of course, na-guest na yapon nato last week ang atong IP mandatory representative in Bukidnon, tama ba? Ex-office official to the Sangguniang Panlalawigan board member, Mr. Richard Dinlayan Macas. So, gihisgutan last week ang functions of a provincial IPMR, which is more on legislation. Nahisgutan nga ang principal work nila mao ang more on legislation, being member of the Sanggunian. It represents the IB communities and acts as a local legislator. Nahisgutan gyapon ang mga meetings nila kabahin sa COVID-19, ilang efforts in legislation geared towards attaining self-sufficiency for food security under the new normal. And of course, ang mga legislative efforts sa IPMR, dito sa food security, sa funding source nila, sa IP Farmers, thus IP Farmers Cooperative is founded. No, mo na siya ang nakatsada din na to attain food security sa tagsa-tagsa ka teritoryo. Other desires of the IPMRs mao ang pag-open or to open partnership with academia, especially sa public information or public administration, to capacitate the IPMRs on parliamentary procedure and of course writing resolutions. And of course, nata din gi-mention ni Sir last week nga, continuing instruction of governor to the IPMRs to continually reach out to the IPMRs. Governor Zubiri is hopeful to meet all IP leaders, tan-awon ilang concerns or problems para maabot yun sa gobyerno.
Yes, inyong napaminawan ang recap gikan sa atong episode 9, no, last Wednesday. Thank you so much, Sir Chasur, for that. Pag-ambitay daw og kauli ang Share to Heal is an extension project of Bukidnon State University as a social innovation for the city of Malaybalay, Bukidnon, with the program leader, Dr. Oscar B. Cabanieles, our project leader, Dr. Joy Molina Mirasol, with our extension director, Dr. Gemaline B. Paulican. So pinaagi sa DXBU 104.5 FM at your educational and community-based FM radio station of Bukidnon State University. Inyong mapaminawan ang pag-ambitay daw ag kaulian sa inyong mga radyo. Apil na usab sa live stream nato, FB live stream sa DXBU 104.5 FM. Kini nga extension project, 1 year. Kini siya madungga nato matag Miyerkules alas 9 hangtod alas 11 sa buntag. So invite your friends, batasan na ang pagpaminaw sa programa nga gahatod kaninyo sa mga impormasyon alayon sa lahi-lahi nga mga dimensyon sa proyekto. So if you have questions, you may type in sa atong chat box or comment box sa atong live stream nga inyo makita sa DXB 104.5 and pag-ambitay daw ag kaulian FB pages. Kay amo ka ng paningkamutan nga among pangutana sa atong mga bisita karong buntaga.
Yes, partner.
So greetings usab sa atong
Yes,
president.
partner. Greetings to Dr. Oscar B. Cabanyeles nga kanunay gasuporta sa atong programa, partner. And of course, partner, dili gid nato kalimtan i-greet gyapon nato ang ato ang project leader, Dr. Joy Molina Mirasol. Hello, ma'am. Good morning. Partner, napaka mga greetings. Ato ang Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Hazel Jean M. Abuela. Good morning, ma'am. And of course, our Vice President for Administration Planning and Development.
That's Mr. Dante S. Victoria Jr. Yes. So to formally start today's episode of Pag-ambitay daw ag kaulian Share to Heal, let us listen to the message of our Vice President for Research, Extension and International Affairs, Dr. Joy M. Mirasol.
Pag-ambitay daw huwag kaulian, Share to Heal, was conceived out of our experience during the enhanced community quarantine. When the entire world came face to face with the reality of COVID-19 pandemic. At that time, relevant and accurate information was necessary to support government effort on mitigating the virus. Now that we are moving forward to the new normal, it is also essential that the right information is available, considering that we are traversing a path that is different from what we are accustomed to. Awareness will result to appropriate behavior change and can greatly help us overcome the challenges and seize the opportunity of this new and better normal. We are grateful to our partners, the City Government of Malaybalay, under the leadership of Mayor Florencio T. Flores Jr., and the 2nd Congressional District of Bukidnon through Representative Attorney John Keith T. Flores. This collaboration will hopefully provide a platform for academic discussion and insights on the various aspects of the new normal, of course, with our invited credible speakers. We are excited to see all of you sa kahanginan o sa digital world.
Okay, atong napaminawan ang atong kinakusgan gid no, kinakusgan nga Vice President for Research, Extension and International Affairs, Dr. Joy M. Mirasol. The support of the university to this endeavor makes this broadcast possible. Kini nga programa nagsiguro nga mahibaw-an ug masabtan sa mga katawhan kamo nga mga among tigpaminaw sa mga guidelines, no? Karon nga ang mga guidelines, mga challenges and opportunities niining panahon sa new normal. Aron makahibalo kita sa insakto ug haom nga mga pamaagi aron atong malikayan o kaha makatabang kita nga moubos ang gidaghanon sa COVID-19 cases. You are still listening to DXBU 104.5 FM sa programang Pag-ambitay daw ag kaulian Share to Heal. Atong oras alas 9:12 sa buntag.
Yes, partner, no? So before na to ihatag ang atong panahon para sa atong first guest karong buntaga. Kauban nato diri karon, partner, ang atoang or isa sa mga social media research team members, si Mr. Retchie Coligado. Taliwala sa atong pagka-gray karon, no? Naka-pink siya.
Yes.
Hayag kay siya, partner.
Okay, ragid kaayo na siya, partner. Hello, Sir Rich. And once again, good morning also sa atong mga watchers sa atong Facebook Live. Good morning to Dr. Karina Joanne Barroso. Pinakauna ni siya nga nag-chat sa atong Facebook Live. Good morning, everyone from College of Nursing. Maayong buntag. Hello to Ma'am Joveline Magno Lapates. Ingon siya, good morning, everyone from College of Technologies. Hello also to Ma'am Gemaline Bachiller Paulican. Always gid ni siya gastorya sa ato ang God bless.
Yes,
atong
partner,
show.
no? Before
Yes.
kita nag-start kaganina. Oo.
Hello to Ma'am Kana Nicolay. Of course, to Ma'am Do No Harm. Hello to Ma'am Ninfa Bago Caballero. Watching with my BPA and MPA students. God bless sa anchors nga mga banggiitan. Charot. Thank you, ma'am.
And good morning po kay Attorney May Avelos Decang.
Good morning,
Good morning,
attorney.
ma'am.
Hello to Ma'am Marilyn Torrella Rubio and to Javier Karen Cesar. Good morning.
Yes, partner.
Sa atong na storya kaganina, partner Chas, karong buntaga, atong makauban sa atong episode 10, no? Ang mga personalities on mental health of the people as we have now entered on the 7th month nga nakigbisog sa COVID-19.
Yes, sugod sa pag-lockdown, partner.
Mm-mm. So karon, I hope nga ang atong guest ready na. Our first guest this morning is the resident psychologist and psychosocial division head sa Cagayan de Oro City Social Welfare and Development Office, Miss Jamie Q. Leonen. Hello, ma'am. Good morning. Pretty kaayo si Ma'am Jamie. Good morning, Ma'am Jamie. You are muted, Ma'am
Nakamute ka,
Jamie.
ma'am.
Good morning to everyone.
Okay.
Hello, ma'am. Good morning. Tinuod, partner, no pretty kay si ma'am.
Maayong buntag, ma'am. Makawala sa mental health issues imong kagwapa karong buntaga. Di ba? Ma'am, I am Joanna Ruth Sario Paloma, and with me is my co-host this morning, Sir Leo Van Ontolan. Og taod-taod, aduna kita yung mga representatives from social media research team. Mauban sa ato para ipasibi ang mga pangutana nga nakalap sa nagkalaing-laing social media sites. So once again, ma'am, good morning. In a general context, ma'am Jamie, how would you describe the situation or the mental health situation sa mga tao karon during pandemic or COVID-19? Ma'am Jamie?
Well, I think, Johan, no, this is a very good question, and I think all of us can relate na to a certain extent, murag apektado gyud ang atuang mental health pag-abot ni ining pandemya, no? Especially since kalit-kalit siya niabot, nobody really expected that this would happen. And of course, it's that sudden change in the things that we got used to that actually also brought a lot of anxiety within us, no? So in our division, Psychosocial Division of CSWD Cagayan de Oro City, we have observed a significant rise in calls, no, and inquiries about mental health. Firstly, on anxiety, no, so whether, and it knows no age, whether bata ba siya or hamtong ba siya. Atong youngest nga referred client is 1 year old, atong pinakahamtong dayon is actually 74 years old. So walay na ilhan nga edad ang epekto or ang apektado sa ilahang mental health tungod ni ining pandemya. And there's also a significant relationship between our mental health with our physical health, no? Hinlabi na kay labin kaning COVID-19, ang iyahag yung ginaatake is of course ato ang resistance, atong immune system, no? So busa bitaw nga naatay mando gikan sa tong gobyerno nga katong mga high risk na ay comorbidities, ug katong mga bata, no, below 21, ug mga elderly 60 and above, kay bawal mugawas tungod kay taas ilahang risgo sa ilahang health tungod ni ining pandemya. And kanira bang mental health nato? Importante kini siya sa elemento pag-abot sa pagpreserba pod sa tuang physical health. No, so kung kita apektado atong mental health, no, so kung kabantay ta, for example, pag kita stressed, unsay mahitabo sa ato? Magkalibanga, magsukaha, or if wala tay saktong tulog, no, diha ta maigo og mga flu or sipon, ubo. Unya, unsa man ni sila nga mga simptomas? Di ba mga simptomas man pud ni sila sa COVID? No? So, as you can see, it actually creates a vicious cycle. If you are not able to take care of your mental health, then your physical health will also be affected. And lo and behold, the first symptoms are actually indicative or similar to of the COVID-19 symptoms, which causes you even more stress. No? So, I think this is also a very good thing to point out because this is also why our mental health is truly affected. And I think a lot of researchers, academicians agree on this. And just yesterday, isa sa tong eksperto pod nga nagstorya sa tong World Mental Health Week celebration. Ingon siya ang epekto daw sa pandemya mugawas beginning from 0.25 to 9 years after the beginning of the pandemic. That's 4 months, padulong 9 years, no? So taas-taas po di ay ang iyahang epekto. It's not just a short-term effect, it can be a long-term effect. And so we really have to also be active in terms of learning about how to help ourselves and our families and our communities when it comes to promoting and preserving our mental health.
Okay, thank you so much for that. We understand, Miss Jamie, no, nga everyone has been affected differently by the COVID-19 pandemic, no? Whether that be adjusting to a new work-life situation para sa mga employees, the loss of a job, or pwede the loss of a loved one, no? The weight of these unprecedented times can be very heavy and significantly impact our mental health. Now, how do we manage, Ma'am Jamie, to cope with the mental stress? Labi na karon nga naa nata sa ikapito nga bulan sugod sa pag-lockdown sa Bukidnon.
Okay, so I think when you talk about promoting your mental health or coping, no, that think the best thing to do first is know some actions to preserve your mental health, no. So matud pa sa to ang health food nga mga partners, diba? So prevention is always better than cure. So bago pa ta maigo sa unsa ba nga mental health concerns or conditions, kinahanglan pud gwardyado nato ang atong kaugalingon. And I think what we're actively promoting right now is the power to actually monitor your thoughts and protect yourself from further aggravating, no, or palalaon ang mga sitwasyon sa imuhang mental health, no. So ang importante nato masabtan pud is matag usa ka nato dali ra kaayo ta mo criticize or mahimong unkind to ourselves, no. So how do we become unkind to ourselves? First and foremost through our thoughts, no. So dali ra kayo sa ato nga muingon og negatibo nga mga comments sa tong kaugalingon, sama sa wa gyud koy pulos, tapulan ko, pangit kay ko, tambok na kayo ko. So kani nga mga butang automatic kay ni sa tua. And this is also relevant to our culture, no? So I understand from last week's episode, you were talking about culture. Culture and socialization also plays a role in terms of how this kind of mindset was developed over time. So notice na sa Filipino culture, lisod pud sa mudawat og compliment. Diba? So we were already raised and predisposed to being negative towards ourselves, no. So I think the first thing that we need to do in order to preserve our mental health would be to watch what thoughts we feed our minds, no. So once you actively catch yourself saying bad things like tapulan yung kayo ko, wala ko'y pulos, and these things keep you up at night, or you keep worrying about the same thing over and over again, then this is also the time that you harness your power to change that vicious cycle by first repeating some positive thoughts to yourself, no. So that's one method of preservation. Apart from that, I think one thing that we're also advocating is self-care, no. So what does self-care mean? Again, in our culture, lisod para sa ato nga mugahin og panahon para sa tong kaugalingon, kasi we were raised to believe that this is something that is a selfish thing to do. Kinahanglan unahon nimo ang imuhang responsibilidad, isip usa ka ginikanan, isip usa ka igsuon, usa ka empleyado, usa ka anak, no. Pero dili nato makita nga isa di ay sa pinakaimportante nga responsibilidad nato before nato ni mahatag nga responsibilidad sa uban, isang atong responsibilidad sa kaugalingon. Hence self-care, no. So self-care is actually very important in preserving good relationships with other people as well. And how do you provide self-care to yourself, no? So nowadays in this pandemic, so the first thing the pandemic actually destroyed in us is our activities of daily living. And that's why a lot of people are getting scared and anxious right now, because gidaot man good sa pandemya ang atong naandan. So 'di ba, atong routines naputol. And as you mentioned earlier, Miss Joanne, bag-o ang ato ang pamaagi sa pagpanarbaho karon sa itong mga kabatanunan, bagong pamaagi sa pagpangiskwela. And because of this, we're still having a hard time coping, and all the more we have a hard time living up to a day-to-day basis kasi nadaot atong naandan. So first thing we need to do is create a schedule for ourselves so that we regain control in our lives. And included in this structured time that we create should be time for ourselves. So naagi tay panahon para sa tong kaugalingon kung asa we do things that actually fuel us, no? Coming from all these, or in order to recover from all these draining things that's happening around us on a day-to-day basis. I-include po nato sa ato ang daily schedule ang atong panahon sa ato ang pamilya, no? So I think isa pod nga gibuhat sa ato ang sa niining pandemya is gipugusta nga mag-iya-iya nga isugakod ang mga challenges nga kita ra usa, believing that we're the only one who's going through all these hardships. But we want to understand that in this pandemic, it's all the more important for you to work with other people and to also help or allow other people to help you in this journey. That's why structured family time is also very important. Lastly, no, of course, we also need to have time to count our blessings. No, so as I said earlier, in this pandemic, or people in general have been built to naturally be negative towards themselves, no? But I think right now, what's most important is to harness that power also to be kinder to yourself, to others, and also to the world. And at this end, we do that too by beginning or practicing constantly to be grateful for all the blessings that we receive. Because when we count what we have, we also tend to lower the tendency to see things that we do not have. And right now, a lot of us are losing a lot of things. So in order to not lose our mind also in the process, kinahanglan pud nga ato ang ihapon kung unsa pud ang nabilin sa ato.
Yes, ma'am.
Wow, that's a very wonderful sharing, Ma'am Jamie. No, daghan kay mig na-realize karong buntaga tungod ana. And atong napaminawan ganina, partner from Ma'am Jamie nga in order to cope with our mental health, we should think of actions to preserve our mental health, no? Let's guard our thoughts, guard ourselves, have the power to monitor our thoughts. Isa pa ato, be kind to yourself.
Be kind to yourself.
Avoid negativity towards yourself.
Yes, tinood ka na, partner, no? Partner, before na ko erase sa akong question kay Ma'am Jamie, no? Partner, wow, makawaw ta, partner. Si Ma'am Jamie, partner, is top 3 sa psychologist board exam in 2014.
Wow.
And served as a graduate school faculty sa Xavier University. So wow, kayo credential si Ma'am Jamie, partner, no? No wonder, partner, nga she's very knowledgeable sa yahag yung specialization, yung field. Ma'am, pwede ko mag-backtrack a little, ma'am, sa atong na-mention kanina nga. We are seeing the effects of the COVID-19. Atong pag-start sa fourth month, paingon gini siya 9 years, ma'am, no? Tama ba ko, ma'am?
Yes, that's right.
And ma'am, yes, ma'am. Ma'am, makaingon ba kita, ma'am, nga kaning mga cases karon, ma'am, sa kabatan-unan, ma'am, gaagi sila og depression, gaagi sila og mga rough times nga feeling nila marag ilaha ra gyud na ng problema, ma'am. Makaingon ba ta nga effect gyapon ni siya sa COVID-19, ma'am?
Yes, no, for sure. I think that's a sad but possible assumption, no? Kay ang isa na namatikdan nato sa ato apong opisina is aside from increasing volume of callers and then referrals, nagkabata pud ang ato ang mga igsuon nga gakaigo sa mental health conditions sama sa depression and suicide. And we can say this because also sad to say in our city, the youngest that has been tallied pud nga took his own life is actually a 9-year-old. And of course, we are afraid of this situation because I think isa sa mga realidad nga I think, no, for the lack of a better term, murag gilaparo sa tuang dagway is that maybe isip o sa kaginikanan, kulang ang ato ang pag-ila sa tuang mga anak, kulang atong panahon nga gakagahin kanila, kulang pud nagpuyo na pud tingali sa isa ka kalibutan nga people feel so disconnected from one another. And we also need to actively harness again the power to be kinder, no? And I keep going back to the concept of kindness because that is also our worldwide theme of World Mental Health Day. And in Cagayan de Oro City, ang ato apong theme nga gibuhat is an act of kindness can save a life. Because right now, little do we realize so many people's lives are in need of saving. No, and our children, no, so as a practitioner and even as an educator, as a student, I was told that children are easiest when it comes to recovering from trauma. That's why I chose to work with children rather than adults, you know. Pero right now it's getting more challenging. Kasi the reality is that even our own kids are getting hit by this pandemic. Why? Because their opportunities to play and to recover from trauma naturally, kasi that's their recovering tool, playing, socializing with other kids, is also being taken away from them because of health protocols. And really, we cannot blame anyone for that man. Kay kasabot man ta nga ang gobyerno, naghatag sila anak nga mando, tungod kay nakita nila ang risgo sa mga bata. Pero isa di kay sa ka-epekto pod ani is na taas pod noon ilahang risgo nga maka-develop pod og kanang mental health conditions. And this is where I think the family comes in. So isip usa ka pamilya, nagpuyo man kita sa usa ka panimalay, kinahanglan mas aktibo ta sa pagpakita sa tuang pag-alima, pagpalangga ug pakipagdula sa tuang mga bata. Kay kung dili ni makuha sa tuang mga bata sa ilang kadula, kay mo manggid pud na ang developmentally appropriate, no, for their age, muna dapat ang ilang gabuhaton, then pwede tingali nato mapunan sa tuang kaugalingong pamilya. And in fact, no, mas makatabang pud ni because every child also just needs one adult who believes in them para malambuon ang ilahang future. So let's be that adult once more as parents, as siblings maybe, no? So dili lamang mga ginikanan ang ako ang gapanawagan, apil mga igsuon. Pakigdula mo sa usat usa kay dili lamang na makatabang sa inyo mga igsuon, sa inyo mga anak, apil pud sa inyong kaugalingon.
Ma'am, how about itong mga working parents bitaw, ma'am? And then ang mabilin lang sa bata is ayaya, naiuban gan sila ra mismo bilin sa balay, ulian lang sila og lunchtime, and then pag uli po sa parents, kapoy na kaayo. Naabay specific time or hour, kung pila ka oras dapat yun storyahon ng bata, dulaon ng bata?
Actually, sir, it's not about the quantity of time, it's the quality of time. So daghan kay tag mga ginikanan pud, no, nga true enough na sila tibok adlaw sa ilahang panimalay. Pero wala sila'y panahon, kalidad nga panahon nga gibuhat kauban sa ilahang mga anak. Now, so when we talk about quality time, I think there are elements in it. So the first element would be you are fully present in that situation. So it doesn't count as quality time kung nakigdula kasi mong bata, pero busy gihapon ka mutubag og tawag sa imong trabaho or mutubag og email, makig-text, no? So wala gihapon ka diha. Kinahanglan sa imuhang kapamilya ang imuhang tibuok nga presensya. So muna ang unang elemento. Ikaduha nga elemento is of course validation and acknowledgement, no? So kung unsa man ang gaagian, nakadiha, you are there to empathize, to feel and understand what the person is going through, and that requires active listening. Imong gilantaw ang iyahang kaya isulti, iyang imong gipaminawan, pero apil pud ang dili niya kaya isulti. So halimbawa sa inyong panihapon, nangutana ka, isip usa ka ginikanan, "Oh nak, kamusta man ang imong pagpangiskwela?" Ang tubag dayon ni anak kay, "Okay ra man pa." Kanang okay ra gyud. So nagdungo-dungo siya. Tan-aw ba ninyo okay gyud ang bata? Pero kung ikaw ga-text ka sa imo habang gatubag imong anak, dili na nimo mabantayan. So that's why, no, listen to your children with an open heart, an open eye, an open ear, and an open heart, no? So an open heart means naman na you are listening to them even if it is not aligned with what you truly believe in. So kana pod na amoy diferensya sa henerasyon pagtuo sa henerasyon sa una o henerasyon karon. So kung atong ipugos ang atoang pamaagi sa niunang panahon, dili kita magkasinabot sa tong bata. So kinahanglan abri po natong kasing-kasing una-una kung maminaw kanila. And I think ikatulo pod nga elemento is nalingaw mo. No, so you're doing something that you enjoy. So it doesn't necessarily have to include you talking a lot, no, or having to call out a lot of information. But at least, no, you're having fun, you're laughing, you are showing them, if you are not able to communicate it verbally, at least you're communicating it non-verbally, bodily. No, you are doing things together. No, so these are the three important elements. So full presence, and of course your active listening, no, and lastly is of course shared enjoyment.
Wow, thank you so much, Ma'am Jamie. Ako, daghan kog hinuklugan atong istorya ni Ma'am Jamie, especially on quality time. It's not all of time that we have with our children, kundi sa quality time can be measured. At one, dapat fully present ka, no? Dapat fully present. Dili wala mo sa imuhang mga anak, aduna pay gabuhaton, sige pag-scroll sa Facebook, dapat full time nimo is naagid sa imuhang mga anak, no? So Sir Chas, di pa ka makarelate ani, kamera ni Sir Rich, no? And then secondly, ingon si Ma'am Jamie, validation and acknowledgement. We have to learn to empathize and then active listening also. And of course, ang number 3 is dapat nag-enjoy gyud sa playtime or time together. Listen with open eyes, heart, and ears.
Partner, no, naputay pangutana din higikan sa ato ang partners diri sa kahanginan. Si Ma'am Ninfa, karon nasa ilang baliga paminaw, ga-monitor gihapon. Ma'am, unsa imong masuggest na pwede mahimong remedy for parents nga ga-struggle og assist sa ilang homeschooling nga kinder and grade schooler nga ga-manifest og trauma and anxiety kay naay mga bata nga muhilak kung ma-mention ang module, no, kay apil si mama og si papa nag-struggle na nya masuko dayon diretso kay di nakasabot si baby. Unsa ato mahatag nga remedy or unsa ato mahatag nga advice sa ilaha, ma'am?
Timely kay na nga question. You know, I do handle clients also. So just recently, a client was referred to me. He's 7 years old, and what's happening to him is every time he studies, he feels like you are in the past month na matikdan nila nga he pees a lot. So kuan na niya na conquer na niya ang toilet training. Pero karon no nga nagsugod ang pandemya, nabantayan sa ilang mama nga permi na pud siya makaihi balik siya iyang underpants, no. So I did sessions with him, and then I realized nga one thing that is missing in families right now is that space to calm themselves down and reflect, no? So because the world is changing so fast, so far, no, parang it's changing very actively, kita pod gakawala atong balance, no. So and then even as parents, we forget that we are role models to our kids. So actually ang bata nga gaka-anxious, gahilaka, I will tell you na they are manifesting also family problem, no. So there is what you call the wisdom of the child. So sometimes our identified patient is our child, but actually the problem is manifested by parents, by family members, no. So when a child is crying and anxious about school, there is also a high likelihood that as a parent, you are also being anxious about your own problems and your concerns. Now, how do we help our kids through this, no? I think it's important that as a parent, as a family, we teach each other mindfulness techniques, no? So this is also how I taught that client of mine. And 1 month after, we had one session, and then I had a follow-up session just a few days ago. Now he is not peeing in class anymore.
Wow.
And what did we do? What did I teach him? I taught him the stop method. So what is this stop method, no? At the peak of your emotions, and this is applicable, I think, to parents, to kids, no, to all ages. The stop method is an acronym. It's a mindfulness technique, and stop stands for S, stop, T, take a deep breath, O, observe, and P, proceed with purpose. No, so when we are at the peak of our emotions, really scared, really angry, really frustrated, we need to practice stop, no? So, stop meaning kung suko na kay ka, kung unsa man ga wild ka, di ba we have road rages or whatever anger fits, stop. And then take 3 long and deep breaths. 3. And the purpose of that is so the information that is stuck in your emotion or your primary brain will proceed to your prefrontal cortex or your good decision making. So take 3 deep breaths, and then after that, before acting, observe what's happening around you. What's happening inside of you? Do you like what is happening right now? And how will your actions affect the next thing that's going to happen? And then after you've thought of all these things, proceed with purpose, no? So what do you take control of the situation? What kind of outcome do you want from this from this situation? Because contrary to the thoughts of many, you do have more control over yourself and your emotions than you think. But I think people just don't know how to do that. So I hope that people can also practice this stop method. And I taught this also to my 7-year-old client. Sabi ko lang sa kanya, pag takot ka na, close your eyes, no, kasi he wants to pee every time the teacher asks him in class. Okay, dili siya as a yang nature is mahadlok siya nga kanang mahatagan bitaw og attention, or he doesn't know how to handle attention, and mahadlok siya maulawan. He's afraid of failure. So I told him, what happens if you what's happening every time you every time you try to answer, siya nga, I want to pee, I'm scared. Kung okay, so I will teach you something. Every time your teacher calls you, I want you to close your eyes and take 3 deep breaths and just relax and repeat to yourself, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. And then you open your eyes and then do it. And it actually worked for him. And if we can teach this to our kids, then it will also create a better, a more controlled situation for them also. And I think this is what we all need in this pandemic, no? So parents, practice it first, model it, and then teach it to your kids. And do it with them on a regular basis. Kasi it will not just help you cope with your own concerns, it will also build a better connection in the family.
Wow. Thank you so much for that, Ma'am Jamie. No, coming from a psychologist, grabe to nga mga advice yang gihatag sa ato.
Partner. Yes, ma'am. Daghan pa gid may questions ni Joanna diri ma'am, no, pero limited gid kay atong time, ma'am. Amuha nang ihatag ang time karon para sa atuang social media research team. Mao kini si Mr. Rechi Coligado, siya ang chairperson sa Sociology and Social Science Department. And kini nga mga pangutana nakalap nila sa social media, ma'am. Sir Reg, take it away.
Hi, Sir Reggie. Sorry, your audio isn't so clear.
May buntag again.
May buntag.
Okay, so in behalf of the social media research team, a while ago while listening sa imuha, ma'am, daghan gigog mga nakuha nga mga technique, method, and then I think naisa question diri nga natubag na. So I'll be giving 2 more questions, ma'am, but this is in relation to the coping mechanisms nga imuhang gipanghat a while ago. There's that one question nga, how do we know that the coping mechanism that we are using is effective, or naabay ginatawag nga very effective nga coping strategy or mechanism?
Okay. Well, while we have guidelines, there is no one size fit all when it comes to coping. And so all the things that I've been sharing to you, they are practices that you can do that can enhance your coping strategies. But there is no one size fits all, no? But how do you know if it's fitting your lifestyle? I can't really explain it, but siguro as a person, it makes you feel more relaxed and more at ease. So that's when you know that it's working for you. I also want to tell everyone that coping mechanisms is a trial and error process. So while you can try the things that I have mentioned to you earlier, and they can work, no? But there will also come a time that maybe they'll stop working. So that being said, you may have to explore other ways also of coping. No? So for some of my clients, I give them a menu of coping strategies, just like what I did earlier. And since again this pandemic is affecting our sense of control, chances are people will not necessarily be able to accommodate all these coping strategies all at the same time. So they can choose from that menu. And then from there, they can see which one fits their lifestyle, and then they practice it, no. And then and they will know kasi ma-feel man na nila, no, ma-feel nila, and kana ang indicators is you feel more relaxed. Second is your relationships will grow a little bit more. You will feel more connected to yourself, the world, the universe, other people, your family. And this is a long-term process, no? So, dili po na siya automatic nga i-try nimo today, mo succeed ka. It will be a constant practice. The last thing I also want to tell everyone is that the coping process is not a linear process. Just like the recovery process is not a linear process. What does that mean? So, for example, gi-practice na ko ang stop method. Ni succeed maayo kay ko. In 1 month, nawala ang ako ang anxiety symptoms, which was having panic attacks kada mugawas ko sa balay. So nawala siya. And then in month 1.5, something happens, no? I heard that my neighbor got contracted COVID-19. I get my panic attacks again. And then I realized the stop method isn't working. So maybe it's time for me to take a deep breath, relax, put, and then do something else. Try another thing. Kasi maybe this particular coping strategy has run its course, or it's not suiting your situation right now, and you need to try another thing. So maybe this time around, I'll try taking a step back, being parang writing or journaling, or maybe doing my gratitude journal first. Di sa ko mag-stop method, kay di man gid ako makontrol akong emotions, no, bisag unsaon akong breathe, mura gyapon kakakulbaan gyapon ko. So I'll try a different one, no. And then later on, if di na pud na mag-work, i-try na pud nako balik. So inga na siya, no. I want everyone, importante man gud na siya nga knowledge, kay sometimes ma-frustrate tag samot imbis gatabangan na nato tong kaugalingon, ma-frustrate ta kay dili na pud ga-work, or nag-work siya sa una, di na pud siya ga-work. So again, balik ta sa general template of kindness to self. So just be kind to yourself in this pandemic, especially in this pandemic.
Okay. Thank you, Ma'am Jamie. Follow-up question lang ako, Ma'am Jamie. You were telling us about a menu of method or technique. Should anyone wants to find out unsa tong mga kuan, do you know any website nga gahatag og mga possible technique where people could actually access and then look for it? Pwede ra nila mabasa?
Okay, sir. So at this point, I'll ask the permission if I can also plug something. So we're very grateful for this opportunity, no, nga kanang na-interview ta in celebration of World Mental Health Day. So in line po sa question ni sir, proud po kayo ta kay sa Cagayan de Oro, we are the only LGU nga na ay psychologist and psychosocial division with under CSWD. And then sa atua pong opisina, aktibo kay ta in terms of educating the public and promoting, no, trying to make everyone understand what are the basics in mental health. So when it comes to the desire to want to understand yourselves a little bit more, or your family members, or what's happening to the people around you, you may visit our webpage, no? Our website, and our Facebook page na lang. Everybody has a Facebook page, CSWD space CDO space Psychosocial. So diha na we regularly update our contents. Our mandate has been to lessen the stigma towards mental health by educating the general public. And we do this by constantly creating different infographics that simplify psychological principles on enhancing your relationship to the self, to others, and to the world. And we do this in our local language. So actually, nakabisaya ang atong material, and we have really, my team has really invested in creating materials nga makainganyo, and then sayo na siya sabton, no? Kay, we want to remind everyone na knowledge is power. So pwede ra gid kay ninyo makuha tanan nga impormasyon, libre ni siya. Pwede mo access sa tong Facebook page, CSWD CDO Psychosocial. And pwede ra gid pud mo download, no? We are okay with you downloading. We just hope that you would maintain the credits to us kay naa man puy mga murag nakabutang na ano dito, no? Murag copyright sa silong. So paki-maintain lang na, pero pwede kay na ninyo gamiton pud sa inyong mga different agencies sa inyong communities kay mo gid na pud ang kinahanglan sa tuang bag-o nga sitwasyon karon. We also have hotline numbers, 0975-840-3585, also 0947-643-8507. So sa ato ang opisina, abri na Mondays to Fridays, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Naapod tay, for others pud, no, nga health related ang ilang pangutana, kay mental health is also about health related. Naapod tay actually Facebook page pud sa DOH, no? So it is DOH Normin Kamusta Ka Hotline. So kani pud siya nga programa sa DOH, gi-create pud ni nila para matabangan tong mga igsuon nato nga katong sa una nga categorization pa, PUI ug PUM. Pero lahi naman ang ato ang categorization karon, suspect, probable, etc. So kung kita pud nanginahanglan ta og kay istorya or basin natay mga pangutana, hinlabi na kung unsa ako ang state ba aning COVID-19, etc. Pwede po ta mga tawag dito because makatabang man gihapon na sa atong mental health kung masabtan nato ang atong sitwasyon or ang ato ang kumbaga ato ang stand when it comes to how healthy we are, especially if we are suspected or possibly carrying the COVID-19 disease.
Okay. So kana lamang Ma'am Jamie, ako ibalik ang panahon kang Ma'am Joanna and kang Sir Chaz. Daghang salamat ug maayong buntag.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sir Rich Coligado, for your questions. Kato nakalap gikan sa social media, Ma'am Jamie. And yes, Sir Chaz, do you have questions?
Wala na good partner, no? So grabe, no? Kanang very, very detailed kayo si
And
Ma'am Jamie.
informative.
Yes, and informative sa iyang discussion points kanang buntaga. Thank you so much for that, Ma'am Jamie.
So Chaz and Los Joanne, okay lang kung mag-plug lang ko sa ato ang
Sure, ma'am.
kalihukan.
Wag yung problema.
So this week, as we know, is or this month is World Mental Health Day. Actually, that's October 10. Pero sa Cagayan de Oro, we have innovated it to a week-long celebration. Beginning yesterday, October 5, all the way until October 10. No, so dili po na ko ipas ni nga opportunity nga mangimbitar sa tuang listeners because gwapo kay ni siya nga opportunity for us para makat-on og mga butang pinahangli about mental health, no? So if you wish to know about different mental health issues and hear from different experts give talks, no, for free, pwede mo join sa ato ang World Mental Health Week celebration by logging into or watching our Facebook live sessions every 10 a.m. to 12 noon at our CSWD CDO Psychosocial. Star-studded atong celebration karon, natay mga eksperto from all over the Philippines nga libre mohatag sa ilahang mga talks. Naapod tay mga guests, no, nga mga sikat kaayo, mga tubong Cagayanon ang uban pod kay from other parts pero willing sila mutabang and mugahin silang panahon para mapasabot ang ato ang komunidad kung unsa man gyud ning mental health. So we hope that you could all join us, no, kay exciting kay ni siya. Napagyud tay mga promos and prizes, no. So excited with me that you can join us in this week-long celebration.
Ma'am Jane,
Wow.
can you repeat the website where we can possibly join the virtual that's a virtual activity, ma'am, right?
Yes, oo. So you can watch our Facebook live sessions at CSWD-CDO Psychosocial nga Facebook page. No, so actually ongoing ang ato ang third episode. We'll be starting in a few minutes. No, that's 10 a.m. to 12 noon.
Okay.
Well, so from one interview to another activity na po si Ma'am. Grabe, Ma'am, no? Ma'am, nindot gid kayo atong storya karon, Ma'am, no? So I hope nga napatay tatay time dagan nga time para magstorya pa about aning ato ang psychosocial behavior and mga coping mechanisms nato, Ma'am, pero wala gitay igong panahon yun, Ma'am, no? Ma'am, any parting message, Ma'am, nga atong nga buot nimo ihatag sa mga tigpaminaw nato karon, Ma'am?
I think I just want to leave with reminding everyone to be kinder to yourselves, no? Because ang atong kaugalingon, pamilya o komunidad, atong responsibilidad. So never forget that an act of kindness can save a life, but you cannot give acts of kindness to others if you do not start with yourself. So start today and practice every day.
Wow. Ma'am, daghang salamat, Ma'am Jamie, no? Partner?
Atong nabati si Miss Jamie Q. Leonen, ang resident psychologist and psychosocial division head sa Cagayan de Oro City Social Welfare and Development Office. That's Miss Jamie Q. Leonen. Thank you so much, Ma'am Jamie, sa imong pagahin sa imuhang time sa amo diri sa DXBU 104.5 and our extension project, Share to Heal. Thank you so much, Ma'am Jamie.
Thank you so much, Ma'am Jamie. Hope to see you next time.
Thank you so much. God bless you. God bless you all and stay safe.
Stay safe, ma'am. Bye-bye. Partner, grabe kanindot atong topic karong buntaga, partner. No, first guest pa lang na siya, partner, pero grabe nakakadaghan og mga na tune-an, no, partner. And isa na din ha, partner, ang itatak gid pa, partner, no.
Yes.
Kindness gid, partner. Kindness goes a long way. Naapod ko yung isa ka friend na ko nga madumduman na partner. Si Norwin Duay. Ringon yun siya perminti. Kindness goes a long way. And tinuod, partner, kimo ang gingon ni Ma'am Jamie na we need to be a little kinder, not only to others but to ourselves as well. Dili gid na siya act of selfishness nga mahimutang buutan sa tong kaugalingon, partner.
Yes, that's right, Sir Chasur, no? And according to Ma'am Ninfa Bago Caballero, nag-take note gid siya diri sa atong Facebook
Siya
Live.
ato ang backstop actually.
Oo, siya ang backstop. Ingon siya, ang atong coping with our mental health, we need to take care of ourselves. We create schedules so that you can have time for yourself. Morning gisulti ganina ni Miss Jamie. We can have time for our family, time to count our blessings. And to sum it up all, let us all be grateful. Hello to Miss Daryl Dagangon. Good morning, greetings from Kibawi, Bukidnon. Hello also to Ma'am Lina Cabigas Hidalgo. Thank you for watching, ma'am. Teach each other mindfulness technique. How do you teach it? Use the STOP method. S is for, unsa ganito, partner? S is for stop. T is for take a deep breath. O, observe. And P, proceed with a purpose.
Yes, partner. And partner, no, sa natay mga nag-comment din ni partner nga wala nila na take note ang contact number. So partner, ang contact number nila, partner, is 0947 643-8507. And of course, ang Facebook page nga, DOH Normin, kamusta ka? Or kumusta ka? And napudtong sa ilahagid mismo, partner nga ilang Ma'am Jamie, good mismo, nga CSWD CDO Psychosocial, mo na ilahang Facebook page. Again, ang contact number is 0947-643-8507. Ay kabalaka na siya sa to ang comment section sa to ang Facebook Live.
Yes, thank you, Sir Chas. Now, sa among pagbalik at tangi ang atong ikaduhang guest, so we will be right back after this short break.
Bukidnon State University through the Office of the Vice President for Research, Extension, and International Affairs and the local government of Malaybalay through City Mayor Honorable Florencio T. Flores Jr. and 2nd District Congressman Honorable Attorney Jonathan Keith T. Flores bring you Pag-ambitay daw ang kaulian, Share to Heal, a social innovation contra COVID-19. This program is an information, education, and communication campaign to address the 9 dimensions of the new normal on health and wellness, governance and management, culture, education, mental health, media literacy, spirituality, legal, and economics and food security. Join us every Wednesday at 9 to 11 in the morning for a variety of learnings together with our credible speakers. Only here on DXBU 104.5 FM. You can also watch the simultaneous Facebook Live through Pag-ambitay daw ang kaulian, Share to Heal and DXBU 104.5 FM page. Pag-ambitay daw ang kaulian, Share to Heal, a social innovation contra COVID-19.
Unsa ang new normal o bag-ong normal, batasana sa pagsunod niini.
Sa bag-ong normal, gikinahanglan ang pagbansay sa kaugalingon hangtod maanad. Sa sinugdanan mabaguhan ka o gikinahanglan nga pagsag-ulo sa mga angayan buhaton apan sa katapusan maanad ra. Mauna kini ang bag-o nga kinabuhi nato. Ang new normal o bag-ong normal usa ka mga aksyon o naandan nga nakasentro sa gipahugot nga paghatag bilis sa kahimsog. Sulod sa bag-ong normal, prioridad ang pagpataas sa resistensya aron masiguro nga kaya ang pagbatok sa bisan unsang sakit. Sa bag-ong normal, gikinahanglan nga magpadayon og walay kapagngan ang pagmatuto sa pagsunod sa preventive measures o mga angayan buhaton aron malikay sa sakit. Mga pamaagi sama-sa paghugas og mga kamot, pagsuot og face mask kada gawas sa puloy-anan, ug ang pagdistansya sa mga tao kung adunay panagtipo. Padayon nga gaibag-o sa COVID-19 atong kinabuhi. Pananglitan kung sa una dili nato gakaandan ang paghugas sa mga kamot sulod sa 20 ka segundo, karon gikinahanglan nga sundot. Ang mga bag-ong kustombre nga resulta sa COVID-19 kini gitawag nga new normal o bag-ong normal. Sulod sa bag-ong normal, gikinahanglan ang bag-ong panglantaw. Dili na haom sa panahon karon ang kinabuhi nga atong unang naandan. Kanunay natong itatak sa atong una-una nga niusab na ang panahon karon.
Kini nga sugyot mahibalo gikan sa Bukidnon State University ug lokal nga pangagamahanan sa siyudad sa Malaybalay pinaagi sa City Health Office Malaybalay, Provincial Disaster Emergency Operation for COVID-19 ug mga estasyon nga miyembro sa kapisanan ng mga broadcaster ng Pilipinas, KBP, Bukidnon Chapter.
Yes, we are back. You're tuning in to DXBU 104.5 FM and this is Pag-ambitay daw ang kaulian, Share to Heal.
Episode 10.
Yes, this is our episode
Yes,
10.
time check, it's 10:01 a.m. And yes, kamuga paminaw gyapon sa DXBU 104.5 FM. So before na to ihatag atong time sa atong second guest for this morning, watching live stream from Nose Around the Corner, public ad viewers, Ma'am Gloria Tuban, College Guidance Counselors sa College of Administration, MPA and BPA students, tama ba? Angel Palaka of Lantapan and Danilo Yuri, student of Policy Analysis. So, no mo to sila partner daghan kayo gatanaw sa to karon partner. Oh, of course, atong Facebook Live diri partner. Dr. Estela Itaas partner, nagtanaw. Si Ma'am Estela, ingon si Ma'am Estela watching here. Wow, what a very informative talk for everyone. Thank you, Ma'am, for sharing your expertise. Congratulations, guys. Wow, naminogid si Ma'am Itaas partner.
Thank you, Ma'am Estela Itaas. And again, we would like to repeat, no, na ay nagsulti diri. Can you repeat the hotline? This is the hotline of Northmin, DOH Normin Mindanao Kamusta Ka hotline, no? That's 0947-643-8507. Again, 0947-643-8507.
Yes, partner. Good morning, Gavin kay Glazy Joy Abatayo. Good morning, watching from OV Perea. And of course, kay Dr. Marlon Frias nga siya'y magtali sa atong ang evaluation for this day. And speaking of evaluation, partner, din na to kalimtan. Mga higala nga gapaminaw sa mga radyo nila o nga ha, ay mo kalimot nga mag-answer sa atong evaluation sheet. Evaluation sheet link will be posted din sa ato ang live stream. So bantay-bantay ta partner, and please ansira na to evaluation sheet to make our program more interesting para sa inyo ha, based on your suggestions and your opinions.
Okay? So, kaganina atong nahisgutan no, ang sitwasyon sa pagkakaroon sa atong mental health ug unsaon nato pag-cope ni ining mental stress, no? Karon mo adto kita sa atong implications on promotion of mental health in educational institutions and the workplace in the new normal. I guess our guest is now on the line.
Yes, partner.
She is the former president of the Philippine Guidance and Counseling Association, the director of Guidance and Counseling Office of Far Eastern University. Please help me welcome Dr. Sheila Marie G. Hoxon, our guest for this morning. Good morning, Ma'am Sheila. How are you today?
Hi, good morning. How are you? Okay. I'm fine. Hi, Joanna and Shasur, Leo.
Shasur.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning.
Hello, ma'am. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning from Quezon City. So I'm here in Bukidnon.
Wow.
Oo.
So makatagalog kita ani karon partner
Yes,
Chas.
magtatagalog
Yeah,
kami
sorry.
ngayon,
I
ma'am.
don't know how to speak
It's okay,
your
ma'am.
dialect. Yeah.
We will practice our Tagalog skills.
All right. So without further ado, ma'am, no, whether we are going to work or working from home, the COVID-19 pandemic has probably changed the way we work. So may mga fear and we also have anxieties about this new disease, and other strong emotions can be very overwhelming, including pa workplace stress, no, that can lead to burnout or external icon, they said. Now, ma'am, regarding this, we would like to ask you the overview of the Mental Health Act RA 11036. So, can you give us some information or just an overview of this RA 11036, ma'am?
So good morning to everyone, and of course, thank you also for the invite of Ma'am Vivian pala, no? And of course, Ma'am Jamie for referring me. Okay. So regarding the Mental Health Act, okay, or what you call the RA 11036, definitely it gives us the mandate, no, para magkaroon ng rights ang lahat ng tao, okay, to have full access for mental health services and programs in the country. So ito ay hindi lang para sa pagkakaroon ng ospital, okay, but it can also be community-based access, and of course, access to mental health programs in the schools, in the community, and of course, in the industry. So sa corporation, kaya meron tayong tinatawag na DO 128. Importante na lahat ng tao in different sectors should have access in mental health programs and services. Kasi parang aware lang tayo sa mga mental health hospital like the National Center for Mental Health, or in schools, we have what you call the guidance counselors. Pero dapat sa industry, meron din, no? Your HR officer should also have what you call developing programs, not only on the intervention, not only on the treatment, but also on the prevention and promotion of well-being, also in respective barangays, no, for the prevention. Yan po ang sinasabi ng Mental Health Act.
Thank you, Doc Sheik. So, we've learned that all institutions, no, in RA 11036 or the Mental Health Act, we have learned that all institutions should have access to mental health development programs that includes prevention and of course promotion. So,
Yeah,
ma'am,
and of
what
course,
are
intervention.
and intervention
treatment.
also. Yes, and treatment, that includes treatment. So, Doc Sheik, what are the implications on the promotion of mental health in educational institutions and the workplace in the new normal?
Yeah. So there are definitely a big implication because of the many anxiety problems and depression that are arising because of the pandemic. So ngayon talaga dapat lalong-lalo na mas proactive, eh, ang bawat eskwelahan, and of course the industry and all the different sectors to give really the mental health programs. Okay? Kaya meron tayong in-depth ed in my work in the Unilab Foundation. We've made a training and a manual for the psychosocial support through play, no? of the Department of Education in the whole country. So our manual in the Unila Foundation was distributed for free for the 13 million elementary students that we have. So we are partnering with the government to give the right intervention in not only psychological first aid, not only psychosocial support, but of course for teachers as well. Okay? Sa industry naman, in my work in the project inclusion, we are also developing and training in collaboration with DOLE to institutionalize mental health programs in the different sectors in the industry, public and private po yan. So nagtuturo po kami through the project inclusion program in collaboration with DOLE. Kasi ang Department of Labor and Employment, yan po ang nagche-check ng mental health programs in the country, in the different companies and industries. So pag hindi ka sumunod, there are certain penalties kasi meron tayong accountability, especially among our clients and among the people that we serve and all our employees.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I am Chasur. Once again, ma'am, I'm Chasur Leva Nantolan. Ma'am, hello, ma'am. Good morning. Magandang umaga.
Chasur. Good
Yes, ma'am.
morning.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, you have mentioned a while ago that we have linkages, no, to the government offices. Do we already have identified challenges and opportunities for teaching and non-teaching staff right now during the pandemic?
Yeah,
Challenges and
we
opportunities for teaching and non-teaching staff during the pandemic. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Of course, not only the learners were affected by the COVID-19, no? But of course, our teachers as well, even our non-academic staff, no? And last October 5, Monday, syempre marami tayong naging concerns dyan, no? Especially in the country, specifically sa pampublikong paaralan. Because of kahirapan, of course, marami talagang walang access sa gadget, maraming walang access sa internet. Okay? So, very important na marami talagang nahuhuli. No? And of course, teachers have difficulty also. Napakaraming trabaho ng teachers, lalo na paggawa ng modules. And of course, shifting to paradigm shift talaga, ano? Na talagang from the traditional learning, all teachers, young and adults, and even the senior citizens should really be educated about the use of technology and of course, learning management system. So maraming challenges, lalo na sa Pilipinas, yung access pa lang sa technology, tsaka yung kahirapan talaga malaking problema. Okay? And of course, sa mga non-academic professionals naman, like the guidance counselors, konting-konti ang licensed counselors in the country. Very limited yan, lalo na po sa public. And psychologists, we also have limited numbers. We only have 2,000 registered psychologists, and only registered psychologists and counselors can do telemental health. No? So, hindi lahat ay mayroong ganong serbisyo. So, I think those were some of the limitations. And of course, access.
2,000 psychologists, ma'am, in the entire country?
Yeah, only registered. And among the licensed counselors, it's only konti lang din.
Doc Sheikh, you have mentioned about the manual for psychosocial support, and you have given this for free to people.
Yeah, hello? Medyo choppy ka lang, Joanna?
Doc Sheikh, you have mentioned a while ago about the manual for the psychosocial support on Play. I think that's on Play. Can you give us the highlights of this manual?
Yeah, the one that we provided is not only a manual, but a training and a learner's playbook. And the main objectives of this manual is to somewhat prevent the trauma that our learners have to experience because of the pandemic and the COVID. And it definitely identifies the feeling. It also enhances the coping mechanism. And of course, it values the promotion and prevention of mental health, especially among learners in the public elementary school, especially in DepEd. Yan.
Right. Thank you, Doc Jake.
The medium of that is play. So play po tayo kasi not all children can definitely have an interest to talk. And their interest is really the power of play.
That's right.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, ngayong umaga pong ito, ma'am, may kasama po tayong member ng social media research team. Siya po ay si Andre Lou Frank Cabigas. He's a faculty member from Language and Letters Department.
Hi, Andre.
Yes, hello po. Good morning po, Doc Shake.
Yes, good morning.
May mga katanungan po kaming nakalap galing po sa, syempre po sa social media. And I just have 2 questions for you po. And the first question is, siguro po since we're talking about mental health, and this is something that usually we do not see. So, the first question is, ano po ba yung mga perceptions or signs po if yung isang person ay mayroong mental health problem? Ano po ba yung best way if meron para ma-identify po na ang isang individual or employee is already having issues and concerns and problems on mental health?
Yeah. So we have different types of mental health problems kasi. And in the DSM-5, which is the Bible of Mental Health Disorders, there are also certain symptoms. No? Pero ngayon kasi marami talaga nagkakaroon ng depression and anxiety. So very important na una nating one of the signs, no? Na malaman natin kung ano yung mga tendencies for mental health problems is lack of sleep. Okay? And ano ibig sabihin ng lack of sleep? Okay? Ito yung mga hindi nakakatulog ng usually 6 to 8 hours a day. And ideally, dapat talaga makatulog tayo 8 hours. No? So kung gising pa rin tayo sa madaling araw at hindi normal ang ating tulog, sabi ng mga pag-aaral, no? In the American Psychiatric Association, if you have lack of sleep, okay? Or too much sleeping, that is what you call hypersomnia. Yung tulog ka naman ng tulog, more than 12 hours, hindi ka nakita ng parents mo. So that is a tendency that you have 90 to 95% that you have certain mental health tendencies. Kaya importante sa eskwelahan, sa komunidad, at sa mga companies, importante tingnan niyo yung mga empleyado niyo at ang inyong mga estudyante. Baka hindi tutulog kasi pag hindi to nakakatulog ng tama, definitely irritable ang mga tao. Okay? Ano pa? Very important din yung lack of focus and attention. So dati very focused yung isang tao o yung isang empleyado ngayon, he or she tends to worry a lot, no? Up to the extent of anxiety attacks and nervousness. Okay? That can also be a condition. If you have some suicidal thoughts, it can also be a tendency and high risk, no? Pag hindi ka rin nakakatulog, hindi ka nakakain ng tama, that can only also be a tendency. If you have mood swings, dati masayahin ka, ngayon pa iba-iba na yung moods mo. Okay? So if you are experiencing certain types of symptoms, 5 or more of certain symptoms, okay, that affects your day-to-day living, and nearly every day you are experiencing it, you can have the tendency for depression. Okay? And if there are symptoms more than 6 months, okay, yung takot mo tsaka worry mo, hindi mo na makontrol, and it already affects your day-to-day, pag ikaw ay bata, and isang symptom mo, that is what you call 6 months or more, you can have a tendency for anxiety disorder. But if it is adult, okay, that is 3 or more in 6 months naman. Okay? So importante na hindi lang ito tendencies, importante magpa-assess kayo sa inyong mga licensed counselors and psychologists through standardized psychological exam. So wag kayo pupunta sa computer na magsa-self-diagnose kayo at magte-take kayo ng mga psych test doon, no? Kasi only psychologists, counselors, and mental health professionals should be the one to handle it and interpret it because there's a right manual and a certain age. And of course, importante rin na after assessment to psychologists and counselors, only psychiatrists for adults and adolescent psychiatrists can definitely diagnose, and developmental pediatricians are more for children. Okay? Yun po.
Thank you po, Doc Shake. So, when you were stating the answers po, mentally po, I'm pretty sure yung mga kasama ko dito, ganun din ginagawa. Siguro chinecheck namin yung, kaya kami tumatawa at the same
Self-check.
time. Self-check kami dun sa sinasabi mo.
Oo, don't self-diagnose
Oo.
lang. Oo.
Pero
Oo.
buti na lang nung sa end ng sinabi niyo po, hindi naman kung daily mo na-experience, so siguro hindi naman namin daily na-experience.
Oo,
Pero
tsaka hindi
for
naman
some,
consistently for 2 weeks or
oo.
more, diba?
So those are the things to watch out for. Okay, so thank you so much for that, Doc Shake. And my second question now po is also related to the first question that I had. Okay po, so how can institutions or our workplace, paano po mapopromote sa isang workplace or institution, or paano po natin matulungan yung empleyado na masustain ang mental health po nila?
Okay. So, importante talaga that if you want to sustain your mental health, it is definitely rooted from your cognition. Okay? So, your cognition with a growing mindset no, can definitely be affecting your feelings, your behavior, okay? Your actions, your values. Okay? And that can also affect your attitude and psychological well-being. Kaya nga, isa rin sa mga gauge na ginagamit namin, pag masama ang pag-iisip mo, masama din ang puso, galaw, at character mo. And that can also be a gauge na masama din ang pag-uugali mo. And if you also have a growing and a positive mindset, okay, that can be your belief, your feeling, and your behavior. And the character strengths are what you call, you are positive, you are grateful, you are loving, you are kind, and you are humble. You have a humor, you are happy, then definitely you are psychologically well. Okay? So your perceptions can be your belief system, and your belief system can be your decision, and your decision can be your humanistic action. Okay? So that is well-being.
Okay po. Follow-up question ko po. So like for employees like us po, what can you recommend po siguro from the institutions? Anong klase pang suporta dapat ang maibigay ng isang agency or institution para po sa empleyado nila? Regarding the mental health of the employee.
Actually, in the government or in the companies or government agencies for employees, napakarami, no? Napakaraming pwedeng ibigay. Unang-una, importante yung information dissemination na dapat talaga meron kayong mga mental health awareness campaign. Okay? And then afterwards, dapat ang inyong mga HRD and the different offices should have what you call multidisciplinary approach. And then alamin ang needs ng bawat empleyado. Okay? At pag nalaman nyo ang mga needs ninyo, okay, dapat ang inyong mga different departments, especially your HRD and your occupational health department, should definitely implicate programs that will develop well-being programs. Okay? Like, importante yung physical. Importante na meron kayong mga exercises. Okay? Meron kayo dapat mga meditation activities, rituals like mindfulness as we go in your office early in the morning. Importante yung humanistic approach ng mga bosses ninyo. Kasi one of the major sources why employees are really going out of their companies are the bosses. Okay? Importante yung inclusivity. Okay? Importante na inclusive ang inyong kumpanya at hindi nanlalait or hindi nagdi-discriminate kung matanda or bata, bakla or tomboy. Importante yung correct engagement, inclusion, and of course, respect for multicultural diversity. Importante yung implication sa mga leaves. Supposed to be talaga, dapat ang working nyo, sabi ng DOLE, is only 8 hours a day and 40 hours a week. Okay? Dapat ang trabaho nyo supposed to be dapat may mga leaves talaga kayo. Okay? Like maternity benefit for girls, for women, vacation leave, of course compensation. That can also be extrinsic motivation and intrinsic motivation. Importante rin yung promotion. Okay? Importante din yung succession planning. So napakarami, no? That can be provided not only in your physical, but also in your academic. Importante na may mga benefit kayo para makapag-aral. Importante yung career growth nyo, that you are being promoted. Importante yung social development. Dapat meron kayong mga counseling sessions, meron kayong mga fellowship, okay? Meron din dapat kayong mga spiritual development na multi-faith, because spirituality is also one of the big chunks of wellness, and so on and so forth. So marami, no? Holistic development, academic, personal, social career, physical, and even spiritual programs.
Okay, thank you so much for that, Doc Shake. And I think nasagot na po lahat yung questions ko, including yung some na nandito po. Nasabi niya po kanina. Thank you so much po, and ibabalik ko na po kay Chasur at kay Ma'am Joanna. Thank you po, Doc Shake.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, Sir Andre Cabigas. No, Ma'am Shake, Doc Shake, sorry, Doc Shake.
Yes.
I have a question, ma'am. Maaring marami ang gustong mag-express ng kanilang anxieties and personal concerns in their respective offices. But anxious for some personal reasons, how can you help encourage the concerned individual how to get started? What to do na mawala ang takot to express? Kanino po first mag-express ng concern?
Okay. Always remember that a human being is a social being, no? And one of the considerations, if you are really anxious, you feel nervous, etc., is that you really talk to someone that you trust. Eh? So sa mga kabataan na nakikinig ngayon, of course, very important that your number one anchor should be your family. But unfortunately, hindi kasi lahat ng magulang ngayon ay, yung iba hindi talaga sila nakakapag-open up. Kasi marami rin talagang problematic parents ngayon. Okay? So maybe you can go to some friends that you trust. Okay? Of course, your teachers, of course, your advisors, your counselors, or maybe your relatives, your tito or titas, or your ninongs and ninangs, or maybe your spiritual advisor na hindi mo talaga stressor. Okay? That can be some of the people that you can trust. Okay? So hindi naman automatic na parents kaagad, lalo na kung yung automatic, kung yung parents mo ay talagang source of stressor mo. Okay? Or siya yung nagbibigay ng trauma sa'yo. That's it.
Okay. Doc Shake, we have asked this question also to Miss Jamie a while ago. This question is on your own perspective, Doc Shake, on the situation or the mental health situation of the people during COVID-19. So in a general context, Doc Shake, how would you describe the situation or the mental health situation of the people during pandemic?
Okay. Actually ngayon, pag hindi talaga tayo umaksyon with mental health problems, no? Lalo na ako, I'm exposed into schools. Napakarami talaga naming online counseling ngayon. Okay? And talaga nagto-tall down na talaga yung nagto-tall up na talaga yung yung aming mga counselees because of the effects of online learning. Napakarami talagang nagkaroon ng adjustments. So kung hindi talaga tayo kikilos, ito talaga yung magiging next pandemic. Kaya importante talaga na the companies, the government, okay, the private sectors, different sectors should definitely be active in mental health programs. So ngayon pa lang, importante talaga yung agility to really have the speed to make programs, no? And make actions like this, no? Ngayon meron kayong radio station. Maganda itong ginagawa ninyo that you are not touching only other aspects, but now you are also talking about real life, no? Situations, which is what we call mental health, no? So more than ever, mas talagang lalo na dati, no, na importante, pinaka-importante ngayong pandemic, because what we are having is an abnormal situation that can trigger a lot, no, of negative problems, especially on mental health. Yeah, that's it.
All right. Thank you, Doc Shake. Our time is 10:27. Yes, Sir Chas?
Yes. Doc Shake, I have a question, Doc Shake.
Yes, dear.
How do we detect colleagues experiencing mental stresses, and how do we react as colleagues?
Yeah, okay. Ako nagkakaroon ng mental stresses ang inyong mga office mates. For example, dati masayahin siya, ngayon parang lagi siyang irritable. Okay? What you will do is depende kasi sa personality ng tao yan eh. Meron mga personality na yung gusto, kumustahin mo siya. Meron mga office mates mo na ang personality is pag they are having problems, you just have to give them time to approach you. So importante na be aware ano ba yung personality ng office mate mo. Introverted ba siya or extroverted ba siya? So kung open siya sa pagkumusta, definitely you can ask her, kumusta ka na? Just like a simple kumusta can definitely means a lot to a lot of people, especially undergoing problems, no? And pag sinabi naman nung introverted mong kaibigan na kumusta and ayaw niya makipag-usap, just okay lang ako. But if I may suggest, can you give me time to talk? So definitely, wag mo na siyang masyadong kumustahin noon, no? At wag mo na siyang tanungin ng problema kasi gusto niya ng space. Gusto niya ng silence, no? And gusto niya muna makapag-isip ng tama. Kasi usually tayo, mga Filipino, lalo, and usually sociable tayo, gusto natin lagi kinukumusta. May mga times yung iba nakukulitan sa ganon because also of personality differences. Okay? So, importante na bigyan mo rin ng space yung mga tao nagkakaroon ng problema. Okay? Ngayon, kung talagang it already affects your day-to-day living, importante na siguro kung hindi pa rin umubra yung mga kumusta mo, okay? And kung nakumusta mo siya and kahit pa paano kinausap ka niya, pwedeng makinig ka lang. Okay? So listening can also be one of the solutions kasi may mga tao na ayaw naman nila talaga ng advices. Okay? In counseling, we don't give advice when we are not asked to give advice. Okay? We are just more on facilitation of exploring the problem and knowing the pros and cons. But still, the people should definitely be the one to assess the pros and cons. And of course, they are still the people who can definitely make decisions on their own. Okay? So, huwag kayong masyado rin magkaroon ng toxic positivity. Okay? And huwag kayong magbigay ng advice kung hindi naman talaga kayo ina-ask ng advice. Toxic positivity is, kaya mo yan, no? Madali lang naman yan, pinagdaanan ko rin yan. It would definitely not help. Okay? Yan. Okay.
Thank you so much for that, Doc Shake, no? Because what happens kasi, Doc, is that if yung isa nag-snap na, tapos ikaw na nangungumusta, mag-snap ka rin. So, there will be clashing of, kayong dalawa na nagka-mental stress.
Yeah.
No, pero
So,
thank you so much for
natin
that.
papatulan yung mga ganon, no?
Oo.
But of course, understand the person and tingnan din natin saan sila nanggagaling. So, inclusivity is really very important.
Thank you so much, Doc Shake. Partner?
Yes, thank you.
Yes, that is very true. No, let us all be mindful of our actions, no, especially to our colleagues who are experiencing mental health conditions or mental stress.
Yes, partner. Do you have more questions, partner?
Nana, partner?
No. Doc Shake?
Yeah.
Ang gustong-gusto ko talaga sabihin, no, Doc Shake. Doc Shake is Doc Shake, there were instances na the faculty members were experiencing stress here, no? Here in school, or even the non-teaching staff are experiencing stress here in school. Now, when they reach home, so syempre, mapagbubunto na, baka may iba na mapagbubunto na ng galit yung mga mga nasa bahay. Konting yung mga anong Tagalog ng bikilzay? Oo. Yung konting ingay from the children. So what pieces of advice can we give them? I'm sorry, I'm struggling with my Tagalog.
Yeah, no problem. So what do you mean is when they go to at home and then minsan nasusigawan nila yung mga anak nila because of some irritation? Oo. Ako lang is very important that you process your thought. So importante talaga na kung wala kang sasabihing maganda, as much as possible, wag ka nalang magsalita. Always be aware that if your words are not true, if your words can definitely make or break the life of the people, and if you are not in a good mood, mas maganda na wag ka na muna makipag-interact sa mga tao. Okay? Kasi that would be deadlier. Just like in your online engagement, if you're not in the mood, just make a mental health break na lang. Huwag ka na lang pumasok kasi baka makapag-trauma ka pa ng tao. So very important that you really have to rest, and then you really have to process your thoughts that can become your feelings and your behavior. So pag may mga thoughts ka, may mga times kasi na nagiging impulsive ka pag hindi mo siya na-process. So tanungin mo yung sarili mo, process mo yung thoughts mo. Ka-react ba ito or hindi? So importante in the character strengths, importante tinatawag na perspective. Knowing the perspectives of every people. Ano ibig sabihin ng perspectives and knowing the merits, not to be so discriminating. Lagi niyo tatandaan that not all who are poor are lazy. May mga pinagdaanan sila. So there are backgrounds that you don't know. So you really have to really know the perspectives of every people. Not all of your students are stupid. Kung hindi man makasagot, baka may mga pinagdadaanan or may mga kahirapan na pinagdadaanan. Or talagang naging sabaw that day because of some trauma that happened prior to classes. So importante yung perspectives.
Yes, Doc Shake. Doc Shake, we have questions here from our team, no? How can we make the workplace conducive to the well-beings of employees? What can supervisors do to help their employees adapt to the new normal and deal with their anxieties?
Yeah. So very important, even companies are inviting me, no? Na talagang kailangan kayo magkaroon ng psychosocial support programs. So pwede kayo magkaroon ng mga psychological first aid, pwede kayo magkaroon ng mga coping sharing or mga growth sessions, para talaga ma-relieve yung anxiety ng mga tao. And you really have to reach out. Kasi nakakalungkot, karamihan may mga HRD tayo na nakikita lang natin pag magtatanggal ng tao, di ba? Or pag may mga union issues. Pero dapat ngayon ang mga human resource department ay hindi pwedeng mga one-time, big-time sumba lang. There should really be a sustainable program for well-being programs ng mga tao. So yung mga supervisors, importante talaga dyan that they are definitely optimistic, hopeful, they are a good influencer, they are enabler, and definitely they inspire their people through their simple doings because they are the absolute truth of the employees. So kung utos ka lang ng utos, tapos hindi ka naman gumagawa ng tama, I don't know kung may inspire mo yung mga tao mo. So always go back to the basic of becoming a great example. Yung pag-smile mo lang every morning by being thoughtful, kumustahin mo lang yung mga tao mo. That can only also be a simple gesture to create a positive climate. And then huwag ka mambubuli. Huwag mo sasabihin, oy, Peppa Pig, kumusta ka na? Okay, or green jokes. Green jokes are never allowed, no, because that is sexual harassment. Don't talk about any body parts. Oy, tumaba ka na, laki na ng ilong mo, mga ganon. Kumusta na love life mo? 0 pa rin, mga ganyan. So yung mga, because iba-iba kasi ang personality ng tao. Sometimes it can be irritating. Then of course in the company and even in all the sectors, no jokes about any body parts. That is a no-no. And then very important talaga yung right thoughts, right feelings, and right behavior when you deal with your people. and then also be an example of character strengths, no? Like transcendence. Ano ibig sabihin ng transcendence? That you see the silver lining amidst the pandemic. Na nakikita mo that you are also provide a lot of opportunities for your people to be somewhat productive amidst the pandemic. Okay? So pwede rin kayo in my work in the Unila Foundation, we have what we call the Well-Being Fridays. And then in my work in the school, we have what we call the Well-Being Wednesdays. So pati yung mga social media platform ninyo, you can have Monday in FEU, we have the strengths-based question. So we have infographic for the students and the whole FEU community about strengths-based question. Okay? Kumusta na? Sino nag-inspire sa'yo? Mga ganyan. Kumusta na, Besh? Mga ganyan. Tuesday will be Tuesdays. It talks about values. Okay? I choose to be brave for today. I choose to be kind for today. And then Wednesdays will be well-being Wednesdays. It's all about videos that talks about different aspects. And for this week, we have what we call the digital well-being programs in our social media. So maraming pwedeng gawin. Psychosocial support will be one of the steps. And of course, very important talaga yung needs assessment and implication of the gaps in the well-being program. So sustainable program should definitely be one and not just a one-time, big time dahil pandemic.
Doc Shake, thank you so much for sharing to us your Guidance and Counseling Association, your Guidance and Counseling Office best practices. No, those are wonderful practices that we can also emulate here in the
Yes.
university.
We can benchmark on.
So, Doc Shake, we don't have much time, no?
Yeah,
at
ang bilis ng time.
So, may we ask your parting statements and your last message to our listeners and our viewers this morning?
Okay. Siguro ako ay for one very important no sa pagkakaroon ng well-being. Well-being is definitely self, no? Anong ibig sabihin ng self? Okay? So importante patatagin nyo yung inyong sarili. Okay? No, every day you ask yourself what makes me beautiful. Tingnan nyo yung mga God-given strengths and talents and skills that you have. And of course, you are also blessed with strengths of your family, your God, and your loved ones. Okay, and always make it to a point to nourish your strengths. And strengths is also what? Strengths is within you. It is the natural way of thinking, feeling, and behaving. No? So you can you can have your superpower just by the mere thought, feelings, and behavior anchored by God's grace and mercy. Okay? Number 2, pag pinatatag niyo yung self niyo afterwards, humility. Okay? Anong ibig sabihin ng humility? Importante yung the courage to confront your problems. Okay? And be humble enough to accept your mistakes. Okay? So matapang ka to accept your problems and confront it. But of course, accepting your mistakes is definitely important. Okay? That is what they call professional humility, especially as you go in your professions. Okay? Number 3, importante yung perseverance. Exert a lot of effort to improve, not only with your physical, but also in your personal, academic, social, and of course, your spiritual development, anchored by your growing mindset, growing feelings, and growing behavior and character strengths. And number 4, I do hope that you can be an advocate of well-being. I do hope that you'll be a blessing for others, no? By thinking positively, not oversharing in your social media. Huwag kayong magsaspread ng mga negative feelings or sad fishing, because sad fishing can definitely affect a lot of people. And you can create a negative environment and what you call an emotional contagion. Okay? So be an advocate online, no? Well-being advocate online and offline by being a blessing in your little ways, becoming an inspiration, be a good influencer. And I do hope that in your words, in actions, and in your thoughts, and your character sense, I do hope that you can enable people. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you so much, Doc Shake. And Doc Shake, hope to see you soon. And I hope this will not be the last time that we will be interviewing you. No?
Okay.
Thank you for your
Yeah, yeah,
inspiring
yeah.
words, Doc
Thank you,
Shake.
guys. Yeah, thank you so much for the invite.
Thank you very much.
God bless, Doc Shake. Take care. God bless.
So there you have it, no? That's Dr. Sheila Marie G. Hoxon, the former president of the Philippine Guidance and Counseling Association and the director of the Guidance and Counseling Office of Far Eastern University. Bigatin kayo atong mga guest karong adlaw.
Tinood,
And
partner.
we would like to thank the team nga mao ang say tawag ani karon partner. Mao ang naatasan nga mangita og mga guest, no?
No? Grabe, partner. Grabe og mga linkages, partner, no nga naka-contact gid ta og mga people, credible speakers to talk about mental health. And grabe pud ka timely atong topic karon, partner. Partner, nakoy pangutanaw sa imo ha. In our discussion today, no, what struck you the most? Unsa ang nagpabilin sa imong uto karon, partner?
Daghan siya, partner, pero ang pinaka nagpabilin gid sa ako is because I have children manggod. Mo gid to siya ang murag na highlight para sa ako this morning nga katubit ang giving them the quality of time, not the quantity. Na we as parents need to have quality time gid sa ilaha, and ibuhos lang gid ang time nga walay laing mga disturbo. Kay I think murag nagilty ko ato, partner. Mao gid to siya ang nag-stuck gid sa akong mind until now.
Oo. And sa ko apod, partner, no, based on the discussion, murag synthesis na ni siya, partner. Based on the discussion ni Ma'am Leonen and ni Doc Shake karon, no, kindness. Mo gid na siya ang nitatak sa ko, partner. Kindness. Once nga we show kindness to ourselves and to others, we will overcome our mental stresses. No, mental stress. Ma-overcome nato ni siya. We can help each other. We can understand each other, pinaagi niya na, partner. And of course, not dili man gyud tanan no capable right then and there maka-elicit og kindness kay basig na amay giagian matud pa sa gingon ni Doc Shake. And we must always remember ang gingon ni Ma'am Jamie, stop. So itong stop, partner, S, stop. T,
Alo, nalimtan na naman siya, partner.
Nawala, partner.
T is for take a deep breath.
O,
observe.
P
is for proceed with purpose.
Yes. So before we talk, before we speak, before we create gestures, no, hunahunao nato, stop. Mo gid na siya ang atong ibutang sa ato ang atong kasing-kasing og sa ato ang panghuna-huna, partner.
Yes, and we have also learned from the talk of Dr. Sheila Marie G. Hoxon ng HRDU and different offices shall have multidisciplinary approaches and knows the needs of each workers, no? So mga rituals, for example, humanistic approach of the bosses, dapat na inclusivity, not discriminatory, and correct engagement. So, na-mention po ganina ni Doc Shake nga the implication of leaves katong 8 hours a day and 4 hours a week only. Ano ba? Succession planning, career growth, and social development. And I am so happy nga, of course, we are doing that here in Bukidnon State University. No, we're proud that we are a part of the BukSU community. And then, according pa ni Doc Shake, no, talk to someone you can trust. Your number one anchor should be your family. Talk to someone that is not your stressor. So katong gahatag sa imong stress nga friend nga ga-advise unyo, murag di ka ganahan sa iyang advice, don't talk to that person na.
Tinood, partner. And partner, no, gikan gyapon kay Doc Shake, tendency of depression when you experience more than 5 symptoms. No, so natay tendency of anxiety disorder, gaka-experience nimo more than 3 to 6 months na ang symptoms. And always remember, there is a right manual for a certain age that can help you diagnose your concerns. Dili lang kay pag nakita nga symptom, mag-google dayon ka, and then imong gibuhat mura na hinon kag gisamot imong anxiety kay imong nakakita dito nga mga sakit, no. So dili gid ka na siya, it's a big no gyud nga mag self-diagnosis ka, pinaagi lang sa Google. No, there is a correct manual. Mo nag-stress ni Dr. Doc Shay kaganina, there is a correct manual. There are correct people who can diagnose your conditions for you.
And then we've also learned that it's very important also to talk to our office mates. Though we are, of course, we're following physical distancing. We talk to them, nga, layo, pwede mga layo. If your office mate shows symptoms of stress, unsa to first, know their personality. If that person is introverted or extroverted, you might as well give space, no, kung extrovert ba na siya.
Yes,
Oo,
introvert
or
siya.
introvert. So, dili pa gid siya mo obra ang kamustahan, pwede nga mag-listen na lang ka sa iya. Listening can also be one of the solutions, ba?
And also partner, no, kung medyo nabanghagan ka, nasinghagan ka ni colleague. So ayaw na lang, paubos lang sa jud ka. Sabton lang nimo siya nga maybe too much na ang pressure niya, too much na yung mental stress nga gabation karon. So it's very important nga naana sa ato ang workplace, no, ang magsinabtanay. Kung nagsinghag na siya, ayaw na nagbalos. Palayo lang sa ka. Give space.
That is right. Our time is 10:49 in the morning. Kamu paghihapon na minaw sa DXBU 104.5 FM o kini ang atong extension project pag-ambitay daw ag kaulian, Share to Heal, a social innovation kontra COVID-19.
Yes. And I would like to take this opportunity, partner, no, to plug Bukidnon State University in partnership with the Philippine Eagle Foundation and the Forest Foundation of the Philippines will hold an online screening of the documentary film Bird of Prey to Save Our Eagle. This is directed and produced by the Cornell Lab of Ornithology of New York, USA, and shot by Emmy Award-winning cinematographer Neil Rettig. The documentary is about the world's rarest and most endangered raptor, the Philippine eagle. The online screening for Bukidnon State University personnel and students will be on October 14 to 15, 2020. Guidelines will be posted soon and disseminated through the different program chairpersons.
All right, thank you, Sir Chaz. Bukidnon State University usab nagahangyo kaninyo nga likayan ang pagpakatag og sayop nga impormasyon kay kana makadugang sa atong makabalaka o kahadlok, no? So paminaw lamang sa mga accredited radio stations, news televisions kay kini sila gatuman sa gitawag nga journalism ethics. Ani usab ang Bukidnon State University pinaagi sa radio station DXBU 104.5 aron mutabang nga moabot kaninyo ang mga kasayuran gikan sa otoridad og mahatagan kamo og insakto nga impormasyon unsa na ang gahimuon nga mga lakang sa atong gobyerno, no, kabahin sa COVID-19 pandemic. BukSU is one with the city or the community in this endeavor. So we are one community. We fight this together, we heal this together, and we are one.
Sa ngalan sa kinatibuk ang puwersa nining sibiyahanan sa DXBU 104.5 FM, the educational and community-based FM radio station of Bukidnon State University, uban kang station director engineer Theogenis Gayon, ang Bukidnon State University Extension Team, ubos sa pagpanguna sa atong University President Dr. Oscar B. Cabanyeles, mga volunteer faculty and staff gikan sa lain-laing nga colleges, sa lokal nga pangagamhanan sa dakbayan sa Malaybalay, sa pagpanguna ni Honorable City Mayor Florencio T. Flores Jr. ug sa Office of the Congressman of the 2nd District of Bukidnon, Honorable Jonathan Keith T. Flores. Ato usab pagapasalamatan ato mga kauban sa Pikas Lawak, no?
We would like to thank today's workforce, no? Salamat kaayo sa pagpakiguban kanato. Labi na atong social media research team, Andre Cabigas and Sir Rich Coligado. Our back staff and account manager, Ms. Ninfa Bago Caballero nga, though wala siya diri, present siya sa social media. Our documentation and technical to Sir Gabriel and Engineer Theogenes T. Gayon. Kauban usab, si Dr. Gemeline Paulican, our extension director. Ma'am Vivienne Belderol, our faculty associate sa OVP nga kanunay na agidiri. Dr. Joy Amirasol, Miss Mariza Manlagaylay, and others in the team nga wala natawag karon. Thank you kaayo sa inyong pagpakiguban karon. And of course, thank you Sir Chas for being here.
Thank you, partner. Thank you for patching up, no? Kay murag na balaka ko kay ulo ako ra isa ugma. Pero thank you so much, partner, for being here with me, no?
Yes.
Kami gaimbita kaninyo sa atong kinatapusan. Kinatapusang higayon, sunod Miyerkules, alas 9 ang takna sa buntag, alang sa laing hugna sa tulamanon, pag-ambitay daw ag kaulian, share to heal. Ako si Chasur Layabanon Tolan, uban sa akong partner.
Joanna Ruth Cesario Paloma, madako salamat hu pagdumanoy kanay, madagway hamasalom daw ulinan ko'y himagbabaya. Thank you so much
Thank you so
for
much,
being
everyone.
here, and God bless us all.
Goodbye!
Bye-bye!
Pag-ambitay daw ag kaulian, share to